All right, JHK here for Fight Night Picks, and join me right now is UFC Flyweight Ode Osbourne. Ode, thank you so much, man, for the time today. How you feeling?
I feel good, man. I'm a little tired because I just not too long ago got back from training, but that's how it is, man. You put in a long day of work, you're gonna feel like you put in a long day of work. Thank you for having me.
No doubt, man. In Milwaukee right now, it's crazy, right? Just
Live,
insane what's going on.
live. Milwaukee is live right now. Bucks in the NBA Finals. Let's go.
Did you ever expect that, when you started watching basketball? Because it's
You
been
know
a
what's
long time.
you know what's funny? I actually don't watch sports at all. I'm actually not really a basketball fan or a sports fan, just because I have a lot going on, and I don't know. I think a lot of it too. Even I used to watch football religiously, but after the whole Colin Kaepernick thing and politics behind it, I stopped watching it. But when everything went on with George Floyd and all that, and I saw how much the Bucks really they became a fan of mine because they really put out for the community, man. They put on for the community of Milwaukee. They do so much, philanthropy, and they just are amazing in the community. So I'm a big fan of Milwaukee. So that's why I follow the Milwaukee Bucks. I would say I'm more of a supporter than a fan.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course, man. Like everybody's busy with their life, and especially when you become an adult, man, sports is
Yeah,
like
yeah.
second.
I'm there. I'm there. I'm at the games all the time, though. So I've become a huge supporter of the Bucks, just because of everything they've done for the city. So
What's your prediction for the finals? How many games?
man, ask me again after this game.
All right, all
Ask
right.
me again after this game. I'm gonna hope the Bucks take it in six.
Early February, 26 seconds, man. That's all you needed to pick up your first UFC victory. Why why did they not give you a fight night bonus for that, man? I felt like that was one of those worthy performances. Did they sneak you a check behind the closed doors or what?
Man, I wish they did, but nah, they didn't check. Um, they didn't give it to me really because it's not my time yet. I'm just coming into the door, and I think I'm not really like a big enough name, and so they want to give it to the bigger name guys. And at first, I was a little salty, but then after a while, I was like, you know what? It's all good because I'm not here to make 50K bonus. I'm not here for that. I'm here for to make millions, billions, whatever. So it's all good. You know what I mean? It makes me more hungry. That's all it does. It just makes me more hungry. You know what I mean? So we'll get it. We're gonna get it next time. I don't want to fall into the. I try not to fall into the whiny mindset mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like, why didn't I get that? Why didn't my UFC? Those guys that just constantly whine about that are in the league that just whine about the UFC, and they just they lose, but they whine and they complain. I'm like, well, I don't want to fall into that mindset. So I try to stay positive about everything that happens to me.
All right. Now, in the post-fight presser, you talked about self-sabotage. I thought that was really interesting that you opened up about that because everybody battles with that, man. I feel like everybody, especially fighters, explain what that is like for you and how you overcame it.
Man, thank you for asking me about that because you're actually the first person who has asked me about that, surprisingly. But everyone will share the stuff I say and comment on it and stuff like that, but no one will actually ask and talk about it because it's a real live thing that no one really understands because they don't want to face that in reality we all self-sabotage one way or another, or not currently, but we've all done it in the past, and it all derives from one thing and one thing only: the fear of success. That's where it comes from. Uh, Not only does it derive from the fear of success, but um, I'll say by letdowns. You know what I'm saying? Letdown after letdown after letdown after letdown. So eventually, at some point in your life, when you move a lot, or you I don't know, relatives die, or you get something happens to you over and over and over again. Eventually, you're just like, you know what? I don't even care anymore. So now that idea of being successful becomes almost non-existent in a way, you know. So I think it happens a lot in kids, and then that manifests from kids to their adult years because no one talks about it with kids and no one helps them. So by the time those kids get to adult years, they don't know that they're self-sabotaging. They just know that they have no idea why they did a certain thing, and they do it because internally we self-sabotage because if we do it, then it's way easier to deal with than the suffering or the pain than getting let down again. You know what I'm saying? Because that last time that really flipped that dial to the way to where it hurt really bad, we our nervous system said no more, and that's when we self sabotage. And so, if you can understand, and if you can figure out where in your life that you tend to do those things, um, you'll become much better at everything in life. You'll start thriving at everything in life, and that for me was the biggest thing, was understanding like, wow, I did that because not intentionally, but I remember like not fighting enough, whether it's not fighting enough in the cage, not fighting enough in my relationship, not fighting enough for my people, whatever the case may be. I realized I didn't fight enough because I was scared of if I fought enough that I would become that much closer to being successful, and getting that much closer to being successful means that I'm getting that much closer to being let down again. And so when you finally go to the roots of the problem, everything becomes much easier to handle. So now when you're faced with a situation that you can self sabotage, you won't, or it becomes lesser.
I think a lot of times people try to find excuses to not take the steps to get to have some success in their life, right? And that's also a part of that self sabotage.
I agree. I think a part of those excuses is victim blaming. We love to play the victim with ourselves. My dad wasn't around, my mom wasn't around, I was homeless, my parents got divorced, I had a rough childhood, I was broke, all this stuff. So those are the excuses that we as individuals make to help us with our self sabotage, because then it makes it okay to do it. So you're absolutely right.
Yeah, well, you figured it out, man, and it's a continuing process, right? But it translated into the cage, and you got your first UFC victory. Now you were set up to fight Amir Albazi, and he was pulled from the fight. Do you know exactly what happened with that?
Yeah, they said he got concussed.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So, you know, that's all I heard. I heard he got concussed, and so it is what it is.
it is. It is. It was a huge opportunity, man, because he was a ranked guy in your
It
first
was
fight at flyweight, but they turned around and gave you a guy that
he's
was
a
supposed to. He should be ranked, but you know what I
yeah.
mean. Like he's a former champion, a major promotion coming into the organization. So, what do you think about that matchup? Was he a guy? Was Manel Kape a guy that you've known before, or was it
No,
the first time you heard of him?
I had no idea about him. I was like, oh, I saw that um I saw his name pop up, and then I did some research on him, and I was like, okay, he. I was like, you can't sleep on this dude. He got some skills. He got some talent. You know what I mean? He's one of them dudes that he's fast. He's unpredictable. You can't sleep on him. You know what I'm saying? So I believe it's gonna be a war. It's either gonna be a war or he's gonna fold, and I'm gonna uh pick him apart. But who knows? You know what I'm saying? Like, I all I know is I go out there and I make it a war, and you either break when I make it a war, or you make it a war. There's only two options. I don't give you the opportunity to do anything else. Either I'm in your face and you fight me, or you just kind of go out quietly. But I think he'll be in my face. I mean, I think he's gonna fight me. So that I'm excited for. You know what I mean? Because I love to just fight, man. I really believe that my potential is unmatched, and I love a good test because I have yet to find somebody that can handle my stand up. Not one person that I fought yet can handle the output that I'm able to bring. So you know what I mean. I love a good test, and I think he's a good test for me, and I love that. I love that. It makes me, like I said, it makes me get off the couch. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, let's go.
Now, this move to flyweight, it seems like it's been in the works for a little bit. You know, what was the decision? Why did you decide to do that?
Well, the decision was that 35 was so packed. You know what I mean? It's just such a stacked weight class, and I'm not getting any younger, so I feel like it would take a lot longer getting to 35 than it would then like if I won all my fights at 35, it would take a lot longer getting to the belt than it would at 25. You know, and I'm trying to maintain um I guess durability is the word I'm going to use. I'm trying to maintain durability. So I'd rather be on top longer than spending a lot longer getting to the top. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course, man, of course. Now, with Kape, you know what I mean? Like, he's a striker. You mentioned you haven't found anybody to match your striking, so he's gonna come in there. He's gonna try to test you. What is your breakdown of his style?
Uh, I don't know because when he was fighting in the ring, you know what I mean. He was a little wild, unpredictable, and now that he's like I think with Phuket, he seemed to kind of calm down a little bit, and he's I don't know he doesn't he kind of has an odd rhythm. He doesn't I don't know what he's gonna fight like. I have no idea. I can't you know what I mean. I don't really know. All I do know is what I'm gonna be able to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm going out there and putting in I'm putting on that gas. That's it. And I don't care what he's gonna do. I just know what I'm gonna do, and it's gonna be good. I'm gonna say that right now. It's gonna be good. I think no, you shouldn't blink because if he can keep up with my speed, I'll be surprised. But if he can, then you shouldn't blink.
Well, you've added probably around 3 more weeks to the to your training camp. So how has
Yeah,
that benefited you?
it's been good, man. It's you know, it gets a little lull sometimes because you're planning for one guy, you're planning for one guy, and then you're like you got a different guy. So that's why like I don't really have that much of a breakdown for Manel Kape because I didn't really like embody myself in film because I felt like I watched more film on Albazi, and so now the fight switch I was just it kind of like threw me off. You know, I was just like okay, you know what, I'm not even gonna watch that much. I'm gonna watch a couple films on them and that's it because you know this game, man, anything can change. So I'm just keeping my mind open, you know, because I don't know what's gonna happen. Before I fought Jerome Rivera, I had my opponent switched like 2 times. So, you know what I mean, like keeping everything open.
Yeah, COVID times, man. It just you don't know when it's gonna flip upside its head.
For
But one
real.
thing for sure is that you're gonna go to Houston, and it's gonna be in front of a packed
It's
arena. That
gonna
makes a
be a
huge difference, right?
gonna be a banger. It's gonna be a banger. That's all I'm gonna say. I can't wait, man. I'm just like I'm itching, man. It's like I'm itching. I just want to get in there. I just want to get in there. Like I'm just like just thinking about it all the time. I try not to think about it too much because I start to like salivate. You know what I mean? I start to listen. You know what I'm saying? Like it's funny. I think that separates real fighters from people who want to fight for the glory. You know, uh, whenever you people who are they get a tough opponent, so to speak, they're kind of like, me. I want, you know, I want to test myself. So I want the best people. So, you know, I'm happy to be fighting Manel Cape because, you know, in my eyes, he looks like a decent opponent. You know what I mean? So, I'm ready to go. Like I'm ready for him.
For sure. Now, a couple weeks back, you know, what I mean, Moreno, he goes in there and finishes Figueiredo.
I call that.
I was. Oh, you called it. I was
Yeah.
surprised to be honest with you because that first fight, I thought it was gonna
I, th-
play out similar, but you called it. Why did? What did you
yeah,
see in
I just
Moreno?
I don't. I see that. I see the he's a little bit more hungry, a little bit more poised, and he's got more volume. I think Figueiredo is kind of overrated. I think he has like that, like, one dimensional punch. Like, he's got that left, that one. He doesn't really impress me too much, to be honest. Um, I I didn't I wasn't I'm not really impressed by Figueiredo, to be honest. But Moreno, I think he's got a lot more volume. That's it, and he wants it more.
And he improved, right?
Yeah,
That's a big thing. He improved between fights,
I
which is very rare.
right. I didn't even know he got cut from the UFC before until today. I was like, what? Okay, I didn't no idea he was cut and then re-signed.
Yeah. So you think Figueiredo, he probably might not even make it back to the title again?
Nah, I don't think so.
It's too stacked.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think yes, it is. I don't, and not just that, but I don't really think it's too stacked. I just don't. He just, man, he just does not impress me. That's just it. He just doesn't impress me. I wish I could say like, oh man, he's so good at this one thing, but I can't. Like I can say Brandon Moreno, he's a volume, man. He's just a volume. He just, what I'm saying? He put on gas. Um, Figueiredo, yeah, like I said, he doesn't impress me.
Now, another topic about the flyweight division that's coming up recently is how, there's a rebirth, and a lot of people are talking about Demetrius Johnson. So do you think the flyweight division is better without Demetrius Johnson currently?
I don't know. It's hard to say. Only because I think there needs to be somebody that can maintain the belt for the duration of time and prove that they can be the same skill level as Demetrius Johnson. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So I can't really say for sure right now. Too early to tell.
So, but when you were coming up, right, in the regional scene, you're probably watching Demetrius Johnson do his thing,
Yeah,
right? So,
yeah.
in your mind, you're like, I'm going to reach up to that level and I'm going to take his belt. So
For
when you got
real.
there, he wasn't there anymore. So
I
it's kind of like, damn.
I thought, for real. I thought I didn't know that I actually was gonna go down. I never thought I'd go down to flyweight. You know, I never thought I was gonna go to flyweight, and then, my coaches have been talking about it, and I was just kind of like, you know what, let's get it done, man, because I'm trying to, make a lot of money so I can help a lot of people.
For sure. Well, your flyweight journey starts, man, August 7th, UFC 265 pay-per-view. Thank you, Ode, man, for the time, and good luck on the rest of your camp.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.